This podcast is made possible by funding from True Patriot Love Foundation.
Sometimes when they're gone up to 8 months, 7 months, a lot changes. New friends are made, other friends have either moved away or they're not in the picture anymore. Some of them are a little bit shy of the military person coming home. Others are just right in there like, yay! Again, everybody is different. It's hard in that the military member sometimes thinks things are the same. When the military member comes home, it's hard. It's hard for everybody to get back into the swing of what has changed and what is the same. It works. You know, everybody plugs along and it works until the next deployment.
The military lifestyle is all-encompassing.
It's difficult, but rewarding.
Dynamic. Very, very dynamic.
Unpredictable.
You are in the Canadian Armed Forces or a family member connected to the military. You know the lifestyle can be a challenge.
The military lifestyle is always changing.
In this podcast, we explore the world of deployments, postings, and transitions. This is the military lifestyle. Here's your host, John Shaboon.
If you have a child and work takes you halfway across the world, you are parenting from afar. So what can you do before, during, and after to make this whole experience better? Tracy Beck has worked with the Military Family Resource Center for over 20 years. She teaches deployment workshops for kids aged 3 to 12. Great way to keep kids connected to the deployed parent. So when I first started at the MFRC, I remember it was probably November 2009, and there was a homecoming. There were families down at the jetty at CFB Esquimalt, and there was this one family that caught my attention. There was a young boy, probably around 4 years old, and he was watching the ship come home, and he started bawling, started crying away. And the mom was great. The dad is a great guy. And I felt like really bad because there's this kid and he's just flood of emotions coming out. I know he was somebody who attends one of your workshops, Tracy. That was a profound experience for me to witness that. And, you know, the reunification, I just know that parenting from afar can be a challenge, and having a child separated from a family member can have a huge impact on them.
Yes. Yeah. The reason I got into doing the workshops was because my 2 girls did the workshops when Michelle Devereaux did them, and it made a huge difference. And when I saw the difference in them, I thought, wow, these are really good. So then I, started to volunteer, and I was helping out, and then it kind of just worked into a job because every child goes through it differently, right? So, I had one girl was like, I don't have a daddy when daddy was gone. And the other girl was so upset and missing him all the time. And then, of course, when daddy comes home, it's like, wow, it's like he was never gone for the one who didn't have a daddy. And the one that was so missing him was very shy again when dad came home. 2 kids, even in the same family, you get 2 different scenarios. So it is really hard for parents to manage that kind of a thing.
So what are families experiencing when a deployed member is preparing to leave? Obviously, there's the child, the deployed parent, and the at-home caregiver.
And every family is different. Some people don't tell their kids until they have to leave because that's what worked. Some people tell them months ahead, and then they prepare all together. And it's really hard because there's no right way, there's no wrong way. And everybody prepares differently.
Yeah, definitely. Every child's different.
Every child's different.
Yeah, every situation's different.
Know how your child will react. And so you kind of go with what you've, realized comes to work, right? A friend of mine never, ever went down to the jetty, ever. Daddy would say goodbye. He'd be gone for 6 months. He'd come home after work on that, or, partway through the day, or pick them up at school. But they never, ever went down to the jetty to say goodbye or to say hello. The kids, it was just like another, dad's gone to work, but he's gone for a long time. Some kids, that would be terrible. They need to see dad go. So it's really, it's hard, and everybody does it differently.
What are some things that the deployed parent would be? Is there any common emotions, would you say?
Well, everybody is kind of on edge and stressed before a deployment, right? Like the military member is, stressed and needing to get things done, and the parent at home is going crazy because trying to get everything done, knowing that she's going to be alone for, months, making sure the car's working and making sure everything is okay. And the kids are more emotional. Some of them are. But a lot of times, if the child can help, pack something or give dad something to take with them, or mom, whoever it is, the mom or the dad, give something for the military member, that really helps. And take pictures. Like, that's one of the huge thing when the kids come to my workshop, if they've got that, and dad took a picture with, Binky sitting on the camel, and dad took a picture with this and with that, and all kinds of things, right? And they can put a scrapbook together of just their little stuffy or whatever. Or
what are some tips you would have for people in the pre-deployment phase, or activities that they could do?
Do lots of things together. Do lots of fun things together. Go on a picnic. Do the movie nights. Spend as much time together as you can, because you're all split up for months. It comes really fast. So that's what, I would suggest.
I know my experience having a child is that when something's wrong, I definitely can sense it. Sometimes my child is able to express it, sometimes not. But yeah, you can see it in sleep. You can see it in how they eat. Yeah, crying. I'm sure that's similar things that families might see.
Yeah, and anger. They get mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they throw things, or there's lots of anger when they, more so as they get older, I guess, and maybe they can express it better. They get mad that their parent has to go away. In that case, when they get older, there's so many more things that you can do with a parent who is deploying. The little ones, like I said, give them a bear to take around, or get them to remember to send postcards. The kids love to have postcards. And the thing to do is to always mail them to each child. Don't send one if you have 3 children. You need to send 3, like little things like that. The kids love to receive things. So, whenever they do, it's always a big happy day when they receive something. But now they see them on the screen all the time. So it is, again, it's evolving again, right? It's always changing. Deployments are always changing nowadays. So it's a long time ago since my kids did a deployment.
Yes, exactly. A lot has definitely changed. What are families experiencing while a deployed parent is away? And again, looking at it from the child, the parent who's away, and the parent at home.
The parent who's away.
Parent or caregiver at home.
Right. Yeah, so the military member misses out on a lot when they miss out on birthdays, many, many birthdays. And that's when, again, there's a lot of emotion because the child is angry that dad or parent is not there. They miss seeing the kids grow up and being all these years and having, my kids now are all adults, and hearing from someone who missed all that, they feel quite bad that they missed so much of their children's lives growing up, being out at sea all the time.
And I guess with children, there might be a little bit of a struggle. So what are some tips and activities that you'd recommend to people when they're in the process of experiencing a deployment?
One of the things I always suggest is, get a calendar and a map. And with the calendar, you can either check off the days, circle the day that parent is coming home, and then just keep, checking off the days one by one. Or with a map, you can follow along where the parent is going. The kids really like that. The kids really like the map and moving the little ship around to show where their parent is, wherever they might be in the world, or even not on a ship. We have, you could, just put them in Iraq or wherever the parent is. Learn a little bit about the places where they're going, especially if you have older kids. That gives the topics of conversation. I know in my workshop, I had told everybody that there's a big zoo when they were in Africa, a big, like a safari. So I said, ask your parent if they're going on the safari, because there was a whole bunch that were from the ship. And so many of the kids came back and say, yeah, my dad went on that safari and he saw a lion and he saw a giraffe, and right. And, if you can give the children, any kind of tools that, can help, even things that they can ask parents for conversations, or before the military member goes, you could work out a time saying that when they get into a port, you could watch them on the FaceTime them. And so you could, mark that on your calendar so that the children have something to look forward to at different times. It's easier to look forward to something for sure. And if you had knowledge of where they were, going, then you would be able to, like I said, plan the safari, like ask them that kind of stuff, or because there's all sorts of little interesting things about all the different countries that they go to.
Yeah. I guess a little research. So if they're going to be in Australia, there's a wealth of topics that you can mine there. If you're going to be in Japan, completely different cultural experience, but something that people can draw upon as well.
That's right. And if when they're going, if they could bring home some money, like just change from wherever countries they're in, and then after they come back, they can sit down with probably maybe 8 years old and older and find out exactly how much 25,000 rupees is. When we have children bring in money, they're always surprised at how different it is than the Canadian dollar. But children do really love money, and they love to think of what they could purchase. Would you be able to purchase a ball? Would you be able to purchase a chocolate bar? Would you be able to purchase a new truck, like a toy truck or something? So that's a fun one, to bring back money from all the different stops that they go to.
Is there anything else you've recommended to people, or little activities that you would have?
Well, there's the little candy jar when dad is, or the parent is gone. Every day they can watch the candy jar go down. You get one candy a day. Or you could even just make like little circles, or any kind of a little design at all, and put something that happens during the day, a special moment or something that you don't want to forget, that like you got an A on your test, or you scored a goal, or you learned to tie your shoes, things like that. And then just put them up on a wall somewhere. And then when the parent comes home, they could also see all the things that you have done, that the child has done, or that has happened in the family Some people have done it as a family and some people have done it for each child. But it's interesting to see what the children think is important.
So when families are reunited, obviously children can be going through a bunch of different emotions. For the deployed parent, they've got a little bit of adjustment back into the family mix. And that home caregiver, there's going to be, again, almost like a renegotiating of roles. Like, this is how we did things while the parent was away, and now got to figure out the new way forward.
Well, yeah, because sometimes when they're gone up to 8 months, 7 months, a lot changes. New friends are made with older children. Other friends have either moved away or they're not in the picture anymore. With the young ones, some of them are a little bit shy of the military person coming home. Others are just right in there like, yay. Again, everybody is different. It's hard in that the military member sometimes thinks things are the same, but everybody has changed. And where the home caregiver has been able to, make things work maybe a little bit differently. When the military member comes home, it's hard. It's hard for everybody to get back into the swing of what has changed and what is the same. But it works. Everybody plugs along and it works until the next deployment.
And what are some tips or activities for when people come home? What would you recommend?
You shouldn't plan to do too much because depending on where the military member has come from, they're still tired. They're winding down. They don't want to be busy. They want to just usually relax for a few days before they get back into everyday life. So it's an adjustment too, because you just want to go out and have fun with them again, but they just want to stay home and be at home and not on a ship. So there's an adjustment with that too.
Is there anything else you would mention to people when it comes to parenting from afar?
Try to stay connected. If you can do things like in a port to visit a museum, if the parent is going to a museum, an older child can look on the internet to see what's at a museum. I would definitely send postcards. Children love postcards, and people are forgetting about postcards. People don't mail letters anymore. And postcards are something that they love, and they bring them in and they show everybody, and it's a big deal for a kid.
Oh, that's it. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks.
Oh.
Thanks for your insights.
Well, thank you for having me.
The Esquimalt MFRC developed these children deployment workbooks. They take orders through their website. Visit esquimaltmfrc.com. Visit the resources page in the deployment section on the website for more information.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Military Lifestyle. To learn more about this episode and to check out our other resources like the deployment app, go to esquimaltmfrc.com. A special thanks to True Patriot Love Foundation for funding Season 1 of this podcast, and to Organized Sound Productions for bringing our idea to life. Please share this podcast with your military family or with someone living the lifestyle. Subscribe to The Military Lifestyle on your favorite podcast app. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for listening.